While the world is still reeling from the ongoing economic meltdown, Iran's economy is cushioned by the stream of money that comes here to pay for its oil. Things have slowed with the downturn in oil prices, but being the world's second largest oil producer does still mean money in the bank. And having cash means there's not much you can't buy here. From high-end autos to the latest computers, it's all for sale in Tehran's markets and its famous bazaar. While Iran is considered a nuclear outlaw and a supporter of terrorism by Europe and the U.S., to neighbors like Afghanistan and Iraq, Iran looks like a model of stability. So the odds are pretty good that someone working in a low-wage job here is a refugee from one of Iran's troubled or impoverished neighbors. Nearly 3 million of them are from Afghanistan. 2/3 of them are here illegally.
I have been here for a year and a half. My family is back in Afghanistan. I send them money. I came here to find work.
Gorban, his 4 brothers, and a few others will spend most of the next year building a luxury condo in Tehran's fancy north side. They make their own home 3 flights below ground. In the condo's unfinished basement is an invisible Afghan village. There is water from a hose, but no other plumbing. They tap into the building's electrical lines. In every building around here, there is a similar scene.
My brother found this job. We have a team and we all move from job to job together.
The construction company lets the Afghans stay here in part to hide them from the authorities. 32-year-old Gorban is head of this team.
I have been arrested 3 times. The first 2 times, they made me sign a letter promising to leave. The 3rd time, I had to pay $600.
$600 is about 3 months' pay, but even at that price, Gorban and his men are doing far better here than they would at home.
They pay around $10 a day for a laborer, but you can make $25 to $30 a day if you have a skill. Of that $10, we spend $3 on food and send the rest back home.
The Afghans do their best to stay out of sight. When outside, they try to blend in. Western Afghanistan, where these men come from, was once part of Persia, so they do speak the same language. Like most Iranians, they're Shia Muslims. But at home and here, life is less about cultural connections and more about families and villages.
This is not a good life because we are not at home with our families. But we make good money and have better opportunities here than at home. I hope I can go home in a year and save enough to go back for good in 5 years.
Iran would like to see their back sooner than that. But taking a hard line would create an economic crisis across the border. Syed Taghi Rahmi is the Ministry of Interior's official in charge of refugees and immigrants.
Right now, Afghanistan is not stable. There is no work for these refugees. We believe when there is a vibrant economy, with health, education, homes, and security, they will go back to their country.
The $2.5 billion that flows each year from workers in Iran to their Afghan families is about as much as Afghanistan's entire national budget.
It's not as hard in Iran as we thought it would be. Life here is pretty good. I send money to my family.
Life underground has its comforts. There is enough to eat, a boombox bought from an upgrading contractor, and even a TV. Tonight's feature is a Korean historical soap opera dubbed into Persian. The dubbing is crucial. Few of the workers on this team can read. Working as laborers is their only option. The Iranian government actually sees their lack of education as a reason to let them stay. They come from Afghan communities that oppose Iran's enemy, the Taliban. So keeping those communities healthy is in Iran's interest.
If they ever go back to Afghanistan and try to run their country, they need to be literate and be able to decide for themselves the kind of society they want. 3,000 Afghan refugees are going to Iranian universities. More than 95% of Taliban forces are illiterate, so we can see this education as a way to fight the terrorists.
At least 2 of the members of this crew ought to be in school. Gorban's youngest brother is 13, as is his friend. But school isn't an option. They're here to support their families. But the recent drop in oil prices has cut Iran's income. Jobs, especially for young people, are harder to find, and young people are the majority in Iran. The pressure to send illegals home is growing. So all across Tehran, at thousands of construction sites, the workers try to stay out of sight. Iran's hope is that they will soon leave, and the money they take with them will be the foundation of political stability in Afghanistan. The refugees have more simple dreams.
I have 2 boys and a girl. I'm not happy to be away from them. My hope is to make enough money to go back and live with my wife and kids.
For World Focus, I'm Richard O'Regan in Tehran.